Hey, what's up? Coming at you with another podcast. It's your boy Dan, it's your boy Ron, and it's your girl Liz, coming at you from the living room, right here live. No double takes, none of that bullshit. We just like straight from the heart, right in your fucking ear, like a fucking wet willy.
Do we all have to yell like that?
No.
I think you might have just broken the computer.
So this is a very special episode of A Nominee, because not only is it me and Dan, but today Elizabeth, the podcast, is here. Not only is she here for the whole episode, but she also watched the show.
I am here in the flesh.
We did a shorter program to accommodate for her.
We made a shorter program, more people.
Well, It wasn't just, we got places to be.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, and we tied that into the...
we have a Bowie-themed episode for you tonight.
And then a Bowie event to go to.
Yeah. It's the Young Americans, a David Bowie tribute band, cover band, whatever they call it. Well, they do actually dress up kind of like... The main guy dresses up like David Bowie.
He
looks nothing like him, but yeah.
It'd be a great name for a Bowie cover band.
I'm not sure I want to hear it, but yeah.
Now that he's dead, Weekend at Bowie's. And you have like little puppet strings behind the lead singer.
This is all said.
And then you could have like a cover band of Weekend at Bowie's, and they could call themselves Weekend at Bowie's 2.
This is all said with love and respect, because we're all big David Bowie fans. Well, I know I am. I think Elizabeth is. I don't know about Dan, though.
I own 5 David Bowie VHS tapes. I can't not be a fan.
But you own a lot of things.
I own a lot of things, but like, there's a lot of things I also don't own.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
No, I have like a set of Bowie... Yeah, I've been trying to rebuild my set of 70s Bowie records.
Oh, right, you mentioned that last time.
Yeah, and I've got... what do I have now? I have Ziggy Stardust, Station to Station, Heroes. I have another one.
You have Ziggy Stardust and Station to Station on vinyl?
Yeah.
It's like original?
Yeah,
no.
RCA Dynaflex.
No.
Same with the Heroes. Yeah.
Do you have it like in like some sort of plexiglass or something? No, that'll ruin it. I mean, some.
Oh no, it's in one of those plastic protectors, and it's in the cubes.
Have you ever?
I've got like a Russian bootleg David Bowie record that's like a best of in Russian. It's like kind of weird though, because it's not actually. It's like half of Man Who Sold the World, and then the other half is like his greatest hits before 1974. Because like you couldn't legally bring rock records into the USSR, so like the only David Bowie records you're gonna get that are in Russian from before the collapse of the Berlin Wall, they're all technically illegal. You can't sell them on Discogs and stuff, but they turn up on eBay sometime. But they're funny. I mean, actually, that one sounded pretty good. A lot of times they sound really bad because plastic was really expensive, so they're like really thin. And then usually it's not being sourced from any kind of like master tape. It's just being sourced off of like taped radio recordings from like Radio Free Europe shit. So like a lot of Russian bootleg records are like unlistenably. It's like when it's like what is it, like the
Grateful Dead? No,
the Todd Haynes movie we were watching with the Karen Carpenter, right? Every copy of it is a ninth generation VHS dub, so you can barely watch it.
Okay, gotcha. Right, but wait. I want to know. So you said you have a first pressing, is that what we call it? First
pressing US, yeah.
First pressing US vinyl, and it's just sitting in a box here in a plastic bag?
That's where all of it's in. At least half of those are first pressings. First pressing is like, so the reason collectors want first pressings is because technically the master tape has been played the least amount of times, so it should sound the best. In terms of rarity, unless a record was like very popular for a sustained period of time, which most records aren't, most copies you're going to find are first pressings.
Okay.
So it's not quite that weird. I mean, like, Bowie was pretty popular.
Yeah.
Like, the only really expensive one from the 70s is low, which is like $50 to $75 when you find it usually, but And I got a lot of the, like, my copy of Ziggy Stardust I got for, I think, $5 from the local record store when everybody was getting rid of the records 20 years ago.
Wow.
And, like, I had a foray, like, Scary Monsters. I think I had everything except Low at that point, and then sold it when I moved.
So does that answer your question about whether
That
Dan is a
does.
Bowie fan?
I have a first...
Well, actually, I had bootleg vinyl, which I sold to my sister, so she probably still has it.
Uh-huh.
I had the Ziggy Stardust Live double... It's like... So have you ever seen a bootleg vinyl record?
No.
Okay, so...
I don't think so.
Usually the inner label, the thing on the actual wax with the sticker... it's going to say the name of a completely different record because it'll say like Spin Dizzy by Tommy Latola or whatever, like somebody that doesn't exist, because if you send it to the pressing plant with the actual name of the record, they know that it's illegal and they can't press it.
Okay.
So they send back all these, and then obviously you can't send the sleeves to get printed.
Uh-huh.
So all the sleeves, usually there's just like a big ink stamp basically on a generic white cardboard sleeve.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's like this David Bowie stencil with a track list on the cover, and then 2 records that say that they're, I think it's like Spin Dizzy by Tommy Holick or something, which is a record that doesn't exist.
So you just have to know that Spin Dizzy by Tommy Holick is actually David Bowie bootleg.
Oh, if it leaves the cardboard sleeve, like, good luck figuring that out.
Yeah,
Unless,
yeah.
like, I guess if you put it on the turntable, if it's something like a Grateful Dead show, you could probably cross-reference it with a set list
Uh-huh.
if there's any songs that they didn't play a lot and figure out, like, okay, this is probably this. But, yeah, otherwise, yeah, nobody would know to look for it.
So I own the first DVD of, oh my God, do I still have it? I did own the first DVD of, CD of Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, nice.
When it came out.
Oh, that's
I went,
exciting.
got it opening day. My first introduction to Ziggy Stardust was on the college radio. They were advertising. They were saying, like, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. or so, they would play an entire album. And so they were saying that they're going to play David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust, the entire album. So I was waiting, and I put in my cassette when it came on, and I recorded the whole thing, and then it was over. My first thought was like, wait, but where's Space Oddity? Yeah, I don't know how many times I listened to that. So then when the CD came out a few years later, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I went there. It might have been the first CD I ever owned too. Now I'm wondering, I know I have it somewhere. There's no way I got rid of that. That's one of the, like what I told you, I got rid of all my David Bowie CDs. I ripped them all, gave them to a friend of mine, and he sold them on eBay. And managed to actually, get a few bucks for them.
Pretty good for CDs.
Yeah. There's no way I got rid of that one. That was definitely a keeper. Ooh.
Right.
I'll be kicking myself if it turns out I got rid of it. Not now talking about it. So
Probably didn't, but hopefully, yeah. I still have so many CDs, like more CDs than I know what to do with, just because I never personally have owned like a record player. I have a tape player in my car just because it's a 2003 Toyota Camry. So I did start buying some tapes.
It's been a consistent theme in your serial monogamy.
My serial monogamy. Oh, vinyl.
Yeah, like the
right.
the record player comes with the boyfriend.
Right, I've dated enough people at this point who own record players, but I don't need my own. It's been like pretty much a consecutive almost 10 years at this point. I'm just dating various people with record players. But my thing has always been CDs because I grew up listening to CDs. Uh-huh. And I've had iPods. Like I've listened to
You got
music.
a pretty decent tape collection.
I have a decent tape collection.
For 2019.
But my CD collection is larger. I don't know, I just like having a physical object. I like the format of the album. I don't like the fragmentation of songs that's happened. I don't know. I just think it's unfortunate that so often now
Well, that
people
kind of
just
like worked
listen
out
to
with,
like singles and they don't really listen to like the full album as a work of art, and that's why like I still appreciate CDs because it lets you enjoy that.
Especially when you've got like concept albums,
Right.
Or like Ziggy Stardust, or Tommy, or Quadrophenia,
Right, or even if it's not necessarily a concept album, but it's just like such a snapshot of that particular like creative moment in the artist's career.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of saw this when we were first dating, because like we started out digital only, but then you needed the physical object.
It's true, the virtual was not enough.
Wait, did you meet online or no?
Well, not exactly. No, we met in person.
I live online. I'm like, even when you meet me in person, I'm probably online. I'm like that little kid on the Cowboy Bebop
Subconsciously online
ship with the just like in my pajamas, like typing on something. But anyway, yeah. So physical objects. Speaking of which, we watched.
Oh yeah.
What did we even watch today? We watched "Love You Till Tuesday," 1960s, 1969 actually. So end of the 60s. Early promotional kind of album-length music video for David Bowie when he was still in his.
He was a fresh baby.
He was such a baby. He was a little baby face.
He had a baby face.
Yeah.
Except for the one good song. Well, one of the two good songs. Yeah.
Well, as much of a
He was
baby
less baby
face
face,
that
yeah.
David Bowie could ever have.
Yeah,
because he was
yeah.
always gaunt.
He just looks like he's going to a tea party, or like he hasn't put on clown makeup yet, except for that one part where he puts on clown makeup.
Well, so it was what 28 minutes of music videos for the album "Love You Till Tuesday," and then we
With
followed
Space Oddity, which is not actually on the album "Love You Till Tuesday."
Right, but it's
like
an
a
earlier
little tease of what was to come.
Yeah, and it was a tease because it wasn't the later version. It was an early version of it.
Actually, maybe it was on "Love You Till Tuesday," and then it
really?
just didn't succeed until he came up with a better version.
We should verify that.
Oh, you have it in that book.
Well, that's for the errata. Which
No,
book?
okay. Don't you have that book that has every David Bowie thing in the world in it?
No, that's like every TV thing on US TV from 1953 to 2008.
Every day.
It's even
I'm
bigger
not sure
than
which is
David
better.
Bowie. No, there's definitely David. I've had like various collector guide, like those are always really fun books, like hardcore collector guide things. Like, did I ever show you the pre-Happy Meal McDonald's toy book?
The pre-Happy Meal McDonald's toy book.
It's like an antique dealer price guide that just lists off every toy that McDonald's manufactured or licensed before Happy Meals.
Huh. Oh, I see. So you bought them, they just had the toys before they had the concept of burger, fries, and drink and toy. It was just
because
buy
a Happy
toy.
Meal is, the toys would be like kind of haphazardly given out as promotions or sold in various, I think I got it like right over here.
Hey, wait, by the way, I'm looking this up. There was no album called Love You Till Tuesday. Was there?
So it was just a movie?
Yeah, it was just this thing, or it was several, because this actually said, yeah, okay, I'm having trouble reading this. I'm not sure what to make of it. Or maybe it was just titled David Bowie. Maybe that's what it was.
It's just David Bowie.
Here's David Bowie before he got the music gig.
We're looking at this really disturbing clown in a black and white,
I was going to say, that is definitely not David Bowie.
It was a really old, distirbing Ronald McDonald. Wow.
But yeah,
that was awful.
it's just like a giant price guide of every. It's got like the
I feel like
grimace
early
with 6
McDonald's
arms.
promotional stuff is like nightmarish.
It's also nightmarish, yeah.
Wow. That nightmarish, what do you call him? Ronald McDonald was like the early nightmarish Mickey and Minnie from early days at Disneyland.
Oh yeah. Early Disney looks like creepy and free, especially the toys where they look like kind of gnarled, stuffed. I mean, that Mickey Mouse thing that we have in the kitchen is kind of like that. It's just like part of a coconut that has like Mickey Mouse haphazardly painted on it, and then there's a hole cut out to put coins in it.
Oh, do you mean kind of like the Betty Boop like skeleton dance video that you were watching?
Oh,
Kind of similar to that.
Like that era, yeah.
Yeah, man, like creepy stuff.
Oh yeah, the original like Fleischer Betty Boop cartoons. Yeah, you ever?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking talking about the skeleton dance one. That was
right, the one with the
Yeah.
Cab Calloway doing the St. James Infirmary Blues.
I forgot that it was a Betty Boop thing. Or I
So
remember
good.
it. Yeah. Oh, so by the way, just not only did we watch the David Bowie, the 28-minute or whatever, I'm making that up, video promotional thing, we also remembered this time to watch an episode of Super Friends. Yay!
Super
So
fast.
here's the early Grimace.
Oh, and Dan is now just showing really disturbing Grimace. Actually, the Grimace isn't nearly as disturbing as the
Ronald McDonald,
Ronald
yeah.
McDonald. Wasn't Grimace originally a villain? Or
Yeah,
is it
because the
originally-
Grimace was supposed, because there was a hamburglar who stole the hamburgers, and the Grimace was supposed to be the one who stole all your drinks, and he had 6 arms, and you can see that's like a really early drawing with him, and he's got like pouches inside the purple Grimace fur, which really disturbed me, just like the idea of like fleshy folds in the purple Grimace
Yeah, like-
skin,
is so
hair, or whatever it
creepy.
is.
It's pretty disturbing.
But with these tiny little arms, like T-Rex
Yeah.
arms. Yeah.
Yeah, he does have like, he's got like T-Rex arms and like
He's just
the
very
hips of a
lumping.
mother.
I think that about just describes it.
Is that like the lumpen proletariat?
Oh, my
they turn
God.
purple,
I guess
yeah.
it's like not quite the correct. Right, I totally
No,
forgot.
it's lumping is a verb.
He's
like
he's
we're
lumping.
lumping along.
He's
Yeah.
lumping. Yeah.
Grimace been lumpin'.
Anyway, so we watched the Super Friends episode.
And then
It
and
was
then
called
after
the final challenge.
yeah.
Which is definitely not the final challenge because there's 13 more years of Super Friends after that.
Yeah, and all the participants except for the racially specific ones, they all continue to live on. Yeah. So Bowie. So what was it, like 7, 8 videos or so?
I think it was 9. I can go
9.
grab the.
Yeah, and
I should
not
grab
his
the
best
book.
work.
No.
I think that's the best way to summarize it.
You know, it was mostly bad with some truly shining moments.
Yeah. I mean, you could see that there was a genius there.
So here's the
There was something.
here's the evidence.
Evidence that, let's see, 9, including Space Oddity. So 9 throwaway things and Space Oddity.
Well, okay.
All right, not okay.
Throwaway. I thought that the mask, a mime,
The mime one,
parentheses, that was actually genuinely good in my opinion.
Well, especially the end.
I don't know if I'd say it was. It was better.
It was okay. I guess in comparison,
It was like it was
good.
the one that went to the party with their 2 really like their 2 like disfigured friends to try to look better in front of girls.
Oh, wait, there's a movie. Was it the? It was like
Wait, they made a movie on that concept.
There's a movie called something like, was it Fat Ugly Friend? Big Ugly Friend. It was something like that. I mean, it's a horrible term, but it's also a loving term. It's a really funny movie. It's a really funny,
Big
biting.
Ugly Friend.
Yeah, and it's when
Was
you
this
have
like one of those Netflix movies?
well, I think it was in the theaters actually.
Huh.
That's where I found it. But it's you've got 3 female friends. This is
And it was there to make the other movies look better.
Yeah. That one movie was no. That's the yeah.
In the
Okay.
theater.
But it turns out, that movie is actually the hero in the end. That turns out to
Okay.
be the better movie. But yeah, because that's how movies end that way. No, it's if you have a group in high school, you have 3 female friends, and one of them is not as pretty and not as interesting as the other 2 in order to make them look better. But they love her, and they care for each other, for her just as much as for each other. And people like her and think she's cool, but she's not the one that guys ask out.
Oh.
Yeah, so when she finds out that that's what she is, she's pretty upset for good reason. So
Right. That's upsetting.
It's actually really funny. So I'll have to look this up and find out what the name of the movie is. I recommend it. It's funny.
But anyway, that was my thought on the David Bowie mime video, is that the other videos were so bad.
That it made this one look good.
Yeah, it was like, oh man, he's in mime makeup and he's creepy now.
I don't know. I
It's like
actually
instantly
kind of
more
disagree.
compelling.
I think there was some merit to it just because, well, for one, David Bowie was a pretty decent, like a pretty good physical actor. Like he was really like very quirky, but very capable of just controlling his movements in this very sort of refined, elegant way.
I really believed he had a
And-
rash on his arm when he did that thing.
That miming was actually a scratching.
accurate. Well, and I thought it had a strong premise, that particular song, because, or whatever it was. Was it a song, really? I guess it was.
It was like a monologue.
It was like a monologue, but this whole concept of, he kept putting on this, like, well, for one, he was wearing this ridiculous outfit that was kind of a prelude to, I guess you were saying it kind of reminded you of what he was wearing in the Labyrinth, Ron.
Yeah.
But, so he wasn't wearing a lot.
Well, the pants with the crotch, basically.
Like, there was not a lot.
He's wearing, like, God, what was like a bandana tied around his junk?
Pretty much.
Or like a one of you said like a bow, like a black
bow. It was a bow, and
it's like something you get on a fancy Cadbury egg.
And he had this painted face, and he would, every time he went out into public, he would kind of cover his face with his hands, and then he would kind of reemerge, and he'd have this bright, disturbing, grotesque smile on his face. And then when he took his quote-unquote mask off, he'd just kind of crumble, and then, like, I don't know, the lighting was really cool. There were a lot of really dynamic shadows. It was, I don't know, I thought it was an interesting piece. And then it was kind of disturbing how it ended.
Yeah. That's why. I was like, okay. So he's a pretty good mime.
He's a pretty good mime.
Actually, now that I think about it, not surprisingly, it totally makes sense now. But that last 30 seconds really got me. So this is, I think I was saying, I will forgive a bad movie if it has a really good ending, and I will not forgive a good movie that has a bad ending, because the endings are really important as far as I'm concerned.
See, I thought it was really shrewd marketing on Bowie's part, because, like, there's a lot of people who really love mimes, but I feel like irrational mime hatred was just starting to foment in the late 60s, so he's kind of playing to both sides, like playing to the Marcel Marceau people in the beginning when he's doing, like, pretty convincing mime. But then, like kind of like Titanic, if you just were waiting the whole time to see a dead mime on your TV, he's one. Like, he's not judging.
Well, so what is with that irrational mime hatred?
Is this a thing?
Well, they can't speak out for themselves.
Well, I think I think it's similar to people hating clowns, right? They get creeped out.
Okay.
They think they're creepy.
Well, okay. So people that hate clowns, it usually is very much I'm scared of clowns, I can't stand them. But people hate mimes, it's more like I want to kick the mime. I want to punch the mime in the face.
I want to punish them.
Yeah, it's like a sadism thing.
They're annoyed by the mime.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I'm annoyed by you. What kind of terrible person are you?
Maybe it's like some weird spectrum of, like, mimes to clowns, where clowns is like the end. Like, mimes remind people of clowns without actually being clowns outright. So they're like, I'm annoyed by the fact that you're reminding me of this other thing that I loathe. Like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean?
But without the fear factor. But I'm not scared of you.
Less of it. I think that fear is still involved, because I think anytime that's not a joke.
It's like the stages of grief, right? You got like you got like fear is clowns, anger is mimes, and then denial is everyone else you've ever met.
I think that you could, like, found a new school of psychological thought based on that.
Wait, who's the 5 state? Well, okay, those are.
Oh yeah, I
those are 3.
One of them.
I guess the other 2 stages don't matter.
It's Elizabeth.
There's podcasters.
Yeah. Different Elizabeth.
Different Elizabeth.
Isn't the 5 stages of grief? Who
Elizabeth is one of the. it's God. I never really thought about you that way.
Well, I hope I'm the acceptance part. That's a positive.
There is an acceptance part. That's true. It's sort of like the what I was saying about movies. If it has a good ending. Then I can forgive the rest of the movie. I could forgive the other 4 stages if acceptance comes at the end.
See, I feel like I'm like the opposite. When I was trying to learn how to make movies, when I was trying to learn how to write, I would intentionally look at the end of books because I felt like I could get a better sense of whether the rest of the book was good if it didn't have anything to draw me in.
I don't understand.
In terms of, how much substance does the book have versus how much is it just kind of like hitting that lizard brain trigger in my head.
Okay.
And so if I know the ending and it's still holding my attention, or like interesting things are still happening, then I know it's a good book.
No, see, okay, so that's really interesting. I can understand your reasoning there, but I feel like I don't like knowing the ending because I always have, it's not so much whether it's, well, okay, it helps that it's good, but I always feel, especially when I'm reading, like reading a book, not so much when I'm watching a movie. It's only really when I'm reading a book that I feel this way. Like, I feel very, like, kind of melancholy at the end of a book. Like, I read the last sentence, especially if it's a really good book, and I finish it and I'm just like, whoa. There's like kind of a profound moment of sort of like isolation and I don't know, reflection and finality. That's why I don't like to know the end of the book.
I'm really good at repressing my emotions, but that's how I feel at the end of literally every Super Friends episode that we watch for this podcast.
I thought you were about to say at the end of every meal.
No, that's you.
At the end of every glass of wine.
But so this might sound ironic considering what we're doing here, but please don't you dare ever tell. Yeah, please don't you dare. That's a threat that please don't let me threat you. Let me have to follow through on the show. Tell me the ending of a movie or a book, because if I know the ending, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to read or watch this. I'm not going to waste my time and screw you for having ruined it for me. Ruined the experience.
Wow, we know how Ron feels now.
Unless it's something I'm never going to watch, and then I'm like, yeah, tell me, because I don't want to. This way, it saves me the trouble of watching or reading this thing. So yeah, please. But otherwise, no, yeah, please don't. So it's ironic because here we are telling everything and telling how things end. But you saw how last time with the Planet of the Apes, and I said, wait, I don't want to spoil this one because I want people to watch it. But
then I spoiled it anyway.
Yeah, and then you spoiled it a bit. Dan,
she spoiled it, that idiot.
You did it. You finally did it. But Dan, as you pointed out, it's been around 50 years.
Yeah.
In fact, it just celebrated its 50th anniversary last year.
It's one of those things where it takes on a life of its own. Like I feel like everyone, even if they haven't seen it, knows how Planet of the Apes ends.
Yeah, they've seen how it ends.
Right. It's like
and like how like the end of Harry Potter, he like graduates college and grows emotionally distant from his college friends as time goes on. I just gave away the whole ending to Harry Potter.
Oh my God, I can't believe you gave away Harry Potter. Oh, I haven't finished reading the books. I saw all the movies twice. I read the Wikipedia articles beforehand, so this way I didn't feel any need to read the books because I tried reading a little bit and I didn't enjoy it. No, now I've started reading them.
So good.
Yeah. I got a friend of ours actually got me. The three of them couldn't believe that I hadn't read them, and so one of them gave me the book, and I did, and I ended up like getting sucked into it and reading it over a long weekend.
They're excellent. I mean, I just remember those were the only books in my whole life that I read over and over again. I mean, I was like a child at that point, so I had time and patience to do that. But
I'm going to spoil the end of Pac-Man.
Wait, I haven't seen all the episodes. Did you ever see the Pac-Man
machine
cartoon?
freezes.
Yeah. No, poor Pac-Man.
Level 256.
Poor Inky Binky.
Oh yeah,
Pinky
no,
and
the cartoon. The cartoon was so ridiculous.
Was it Pac-Man and his friends, or Pac-Man was
Pac and Pals or something like that?
Yeah, I don't need to see that again.
That was. I watched the Christmas special.
Important.
It was not important. No. It was the 80s.
By the way, Stages of Grief. The reason I said Elizabeth is because it's Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. That's she's the one that came up with
the Death lady.
Yeah. So I looked up what I was saying about the fat ugly friend. It's designated ugly fat friend, the Duff, and the movie is called The Duff. And
when did it come out?
What does it say? It came out in 2015, so it's only 40 years old. Metascore.
I was literally thinking,
56.
it's only 2 years old. In 2015, it was 4 years ago.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Wait, it's almost celebrating its 5-year anniversary. What is that? The paper or the fruit anniversary?
When you think about it on like a really macro level, and I don't want to get depressing here, but Donald Trump kind of is the Duff. Except he like somehow right, because like everybody in 2016, they're kind of like, so long as this guy, like Hillary Clinton, basically tried to use Donald Trump as.
Well, look, at least I'm not as bad as him,
right?
Would we be canonizing Obama in the same way if not for Trump? I mean, there are all these things that we could say.
He like fucked up a bunch. Like, I'm not crazy about a lot of stuff that happened during the Obama administration.
But, the whole thing about personal scandals.
I kind of disagree, though. I think that a lot of people loved Obama, like, well before Trump became even, like, an imminent threat, so...
Yeah, there was, like,
yeah.
Please, Obama, don't leave us.
Right.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's just. Yeah, he had a bit of a cult of personality, not like a not like cult of personality, but like I don't know.
Although now I think about it, there was, and the whole thing with the posters and and Hope and that iconic poster, which now I think about it, it's kind of a Soviet style, isn't it?
Just a single word done bold. Everything's like
very
big,
simple,
cool shadows.
His face, he embodies hope. He is hope personified. And so you might now imagine Trump's face, same colors, same style, but it's Trump and it says MAGA. Or no, actually hope. Imagine if it was just Obama hadn't done it, Trump was doing hope.
Oh yeah,
right?
and they won the Advertisers of the Year or whatever award for the people who did the Obama campaign.
Really?
Yeah, like the big advertising awards. It
was very effective.
Yeah. Wow. Talk about being weirdly commercialized, and we're talking about political and emotional, but political stuff, and suddenly you've got an award that you would think you give to commercial ad campaigns.
Right, which, I mean, it was, they got paid.
People paid for those posters.
Yeah, people paid for the posters. People paid, like, the Obama campaign did pay the people who made the posters.
Yeah.
Presumably. I mean, I didn't hear anything about it.
Well, unless they were volunteer. But so anyways, Bowie. So 9 Bowie things. So we've got the one with the mime. What else
Love You Till
5.
Tuesday, where he lists days of the week, but...
Did he really? See, I have a hard time, like, not titles, words, lyrics.
Like, why
and understanding
Tuesday?
them.
I completely agree. I'm gonna be 100% honest in that I did not hear the vast majority of lyrics that were sung on this music video. It was like, well, part of it was like we kept talking over it, so that made it a little tricky. But it was also just like he's like peak British in this music video, and like it wasn't very high quality.
Do you think Robert Smith was thinking about Love You Till Tuesday when he wrote Friday I'm in Love?
Or what about the...
I don't know about that.
What about Morrissey and Every Day is Like Sunday?
I think I know that one.
Wow, how many? We have every day of the week, so every day...
Monday.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Tuesday. Is there a Wednesday song? Wait, what day of the week did you say, Dan?
Friday I'm in Love.
Okay, so
by The Cure.
Okay.
Well, no,
Love You
with
Till
the
Tuesday,
Friday I'm in Love
Monday,
lists
Monday.
every day of the week in the lyrics.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, so we were covered. Thank you, Cure.
But when it comes to titles, at least we've got Monday. We've got Friday. Wait, Morrissey. That's The Cure.
Sunday Morning.
Right?
Morrissey and The Cure are the same person.
No. Wait, what band was Morrissey in?
The Smiths.
I'm confusing people then.
Yeah, no, Morrissey is the singer for the Smiths.
Oh, okay. I'm totally confusing things. Okay, all right.
Robert Smith is the lead singer for The Cure.
All right, that's why I'm like The Cure, Smith, the Smith to the Smith, the Smith to Morrissey.
Smith
to the Smith.
All right, so we've got, in terms of titles, we've got Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday covered. So we still need Saturday.
Saturday Night
Will Smith in.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever. So, and what did you say?
What classic new wave goth band was Will Smith in? Extra trivia question.
Classic. Wait. DJ. Fresh Prince and DJ.
Okay, I did.
And DJ Jazzy Jeff. Is that
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Totally goth. Totally.
Yeah.
But totally not.
So we still don't have Wednesday covered or Thursday, right? Thursday's Child? No.
Wednesday Week by Elvis Costello and the Attractions, which is a B-side, but
hey, it's a song.
Has the word in it, yeah.
But did I make up Thursday's Child as a thing?
No, that's on Hours by David Bowie.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh,
so
perfect.
we got 2 Bowies.
That's the kid song.
We're good.
All right, cool. We've got...
Wait, how did we get started on that?
Tuesday's Child.
Tuesday,
Love You Till Tuesday.
Love You Till Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about 5. Let's talk about the song When I'm 5.
Oh yeah. It reminded me of being 5 because I grew up in a room that didn't have like perspective
Windows.
walls or shadows, and so it really brought me back. So thanks, Dave.
So this song was it was like a 4-year-old talking about how when he's 5 he's going to do this. So he's going to marry his mom. He's going to eat a butterfly and go ew or something like that.
Oh no, he's going to eat a butterfly and not get sick.
Throw up.
Oh, and not throw up.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was and will throw up. Okay.
Yeah, because if he throws up, then his mom's going to be like, I totally don't want to marry you.
But either way, Dad's going to do the wash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, he says it all in this kind of, and when I'm 5, yeah, I'm going to eat a butterfly, and Dad's going to do the wash while I marry Mom. Yeah.
It was so...
A wise guy, eh?
Well, it's like a shitty first run for Kooks on Hunky Dory.
And he was like trying to act like a little baby too. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was doing the little baby motions, and was that the one with the giant candle? No, that was a different one.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Because he's a little kid.
And the birthday cake.
Right. Oh yeah, and it starts out with this like totally fucking like I used to watch so much Christian public access television when I first got to college, and that fucking shot of the birthday cake at the beginning could have been like any ad bumper on like any like Channel 2 public access Christian thing in New York. Like sometimes in Spanish.
I believe it.
Or in Espanol.
I used to, I guess it wasn't public access. It was PTL. I used to watch Jimmy Swaggart a little bit, but, Tammy Faye, Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, I used to watch them. And then I also used to watch, there was a couple of cable channels that was all Christian stuff, and I used to call in to those. I think I may have mentioned that earlier, like at a previous episode. But anyways, I used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning before school, and it was on, so I'd watch it, and I don't know, it was entertaining.
Oh, I'd always love watching those shows where it's like the one elderly nun, and there's like 10 people in folding chairs and like this giant bingo hall listening to her, and it looks like it was shot on like surveillance video or whatever.
That sounds fun.
I was like, yeah, because I like watch that, and I think like more people have been in my living room, take that, God. Right? Like, but yeah, just the low production value on Christian public access type. Or I guess it's not really public access, it's just like low budget Christian TV channel at the end of the cable spectrum shit. But
yeah, I guess it's also just it's sort of the pinnacle of public access television or local cable access, which can be so much fun to watch.
Oh yeah, that's like the best when it goes wrong.
Does that still exist? Do people still do that?
I mean, yeah. Still,
I don't have cable, so I don't know.
There's a public access station last year.
Yeah.
Really?
There's one in Somerville. There's a show that's on the Somerville public access.
There's one up Washington Street. There's if you walk up towards Skippy White's, there's one.
Maybe we need to expand. Start, a whole multimedia. Move from radio to television.
That would be fun.
We have thumbs.
Before we move on to the movies.
Right. We're just setting a track for ourselves here.
Oh yeah.
The only problem is that we won't be able to edit out the long pauses.
That's true. Well, it's more authentic that way, right?
That's true. That's true.
We could make like a feature film about the show, like
nothing but a long pause.
Well, kind of like I watched the Angry Video Game Nerd feature-length movie the other day, and it wasn't good, but it's a feature-length fiction film about a guy reviewing something. So we shouldn't turn down the money if somebody shows up with it, is what I'm saying.
You shouldn't
turn down the money from public access.
Yeah, if public access comes and they're like, we're all 6 people in Brazil listening to this podcast, we want to give you $18 million because that's public access money, obviously, and just be like, we want what you guys do on the show, but we want a chase action sequence at the end for no reason, and an artificially shoehorned in love interest. And what else do they do when they turn? What did they do when they turn Battleship into a movie? Right? Because how do you turn that board game into a? But they did it.
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's one I don't feel
out. I
Was it a war sequence? What? What was it?
I never watched it.
No, wasn't
I
it
thought
like
you said
Aliens?
you watched it.
Or wasn't it Aliens? Or I don't know. Yeah. I knew nothing about
It was
I'm not going to bother
a
looking
couple
it up.
years ago. Milton Bradley or Hasbro or whatever licensed out the rights to Battleship, the board game, the thing where you like put the little pegs in the
Right.
yeah,
And it became a movie because Transformers did so well. So why not Battleship?
right. And then there was Emoji the movie, and then there was the Emoji movie too.
It did that well. Oh, Angry Birds the movie.
Yeah, there was a second Baby Geniuses, and that didn't do well, and everyone hated it. So
Bleh, terrible.
there's franchises.
The first one's a
that just
classic.
refuse to. Yeah, the first. Have you seen it?
Baby Geniuses?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
I mean, I saw it back when it came out.
Wait,
so-
for real?
Yeah.
In the theater?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater. No, wait, did I see it in the theater? No, I probably did because I worked at the movie
high
theater.
were you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was probably when I worked at the movie theater. No, my friend's for a short time boyfriend thought it was hilarious. Thought it was like the best thing since sliced bread. It was Wonder Bread, but still, so not the best. We're not talking about pre-sliced.
Even better.
Yes.
Not like artisanal or that flying pig bread or something like that.
When
but
pigs fly, I used to
when
work
pigs fly.
there.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Wait, did I make up that they have sliced bread?
We can slice it for you.
All right, there we go. Ooh, custom
Whoa.
sliced.
Is that safe for a pig to do?
Hey, watch who you're calling a pig.
So,
Flying pig.
oh wait, that was insulting. I think I just got it. I was moving on to
No,
something
like-
else in my mind.
No, because they don't have thumbs. So, like,
No,
do you
I was
really
the
want
one slicing the bread, Dan.
Oh, but
Yeah.
the pigs were the ones making all the money?
Yeah.
Hey,
No.
all animals are created equal. Some are created more equal than others, and the ones created more equal than others were the pigs. So
No, the pigs were the
Yeah,
bakers.
that's true.
Oh.
No, it was a good
Wait,
place.
then what do you
I-
call
it
the
was a
police when they show up? The
Oh.
fuzz?
The fuzz.
The fuck.
It was. I liked working there. It was very yummy too.
Does anybody call the Georgia police the peach fuzz?
The peach fuzz. Wait, I'm just having like weird flashbacks to like.
To working at the pig fly.
Well, that too, but like no, just like you were talking about Christian public access TV a while back, and now I've been having like for the past 5 minutes flashbacks to my grandparents' house when I was growing up,
Why?
because they used to like occasionally watch that.
Oh, but watch it sincerely.
Yes.
Not, okay. Wow. So what was it? What was that like?
Fuzzy.
The memory's fuzzy, or the experience was fuzzy?
Both.
Okay.
It would kind of alternate between that and golf.
Oh, I'd prefer the Christian. Although actually, no. In grad school, I never understood golf, and I had for 1 year I roomed. I had with a few people, and I had a Scottish roommate. And he actually, I don't know if being Scottish had anything to do with it, but he explained golf to me, and actually for a little while I was a fan of watching golf. Not like enough to go and find out anything about who Jack Nicklaus was or anything, because I still confused him with Jack Nicholson. But it was enjoyable, and I can actually kind of watch and say, this is not a board game. This is actually pretty fascinating. So
Well, I kind of grew up watching golf because my parents love golf, so it's actually like pretty fun, sort of.
Uh-huh.
It's relaxing. Well, there was one time recently when there was I don't know it was either a crocodile or an alligator. Which one's in Florida? Or is it both?
let's say both.
Both. Well, it was one of them. I guess we'll just say it was an alligator, and it was in one of the ponds on the course.
Ooh.
And their ball went in there, and there's this alligator there, and they were trying to fish it out.
That's stressful.
But, like, just kind of, they were, like, reaching as far as they possibly could without, like, falling into this pond with this alligator. Like, it was quite the scene. Oh.
Does anybody call maritime law enforcement naval fuzz?
Naval fuzz.
Oh, okay, I just got it. Sorry, I laughed first and then got it. So, yeah. Oh yeah, we were gonna get we need to load the Rimshot app. So we can play every so often, although we'd be playing it like every 2 minutes or so. So yeah, maybe it's better not.
Well, we should get a gong noise too to vary it out.
Oh yeah, there needs to be a gong noise.
Boom. So Bowie, yeah. Okay, so that's a good
so
gong.
David Bowie.
Okay, so most of it was not very good, but then there were the parts that were really good, bordering on genius.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. And
That was one of the parts bordering on genius.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
the click. So, and so I'm glad that the part that was bordering on genius was can't remember. Oh yeah, which song was it? It was, I think, was it the fifth or sixth one?
The Mask, a Mime, Let Me Sleep Beside You.
I think it was Let Me Sleep Beside You, right? Which is
That's like such a Mick Jagger rip, right? Because it's like let's spend the night together.
Was that the one with the
where he's using the fake guitar.
Yeah, and that's the one where I think, okay, that's David Bowie. Even if he's doing a bit of a Mick Jagger thing, maybe that's what he needed.
Right.
But that was like the Still on the Bed, the bottom one. He could totally be Mick Jagger in 1962.
Yeah, okay.
If you gave him some collagen.
He's doing the thing with the mouth and.
Wow, is that how early? 1962.
Mick Jagger?
First Stones record is, like 63, 64, so they were playing,
Wow.
But that was the most...
That's amazing.
Like, future David Bowie kind of, I think, song, besides Space Oddity, in which he sounded the most of where the direction he's gonna go. So it's great that he could channel all that other stuff, in which he's thinking about different things, he's wearing different things in each one, and it's like somewhat different styles, but kind of bring them all together and channel it through the good one.
He covered Let's Spend the Night Together on Pinups.
Okay.
Right? The all covers record.
I believe you.
Yeah. Well, I thought you had the CDs.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I barely even listened to most of them. Yeah. No, so for the longest time I thought I was a big Bowie fan, and then I bought all the CDs eventually, and I realized I was a big Ziggy Stardust fan. I don't understand what all these
selective Bowie fan.
Yeah, I didn't understand what all this other stuff is. And then a friend of mine turned me on to Station to Station, and I can listen to Station and Station on repeat over and over again. And just the beginning with the train, and the European something's here. How does it go? The European? I can't remember the lyrics, but
TC 715 or whatever. TC 125 whatever.
Yeah.
The European canon is here.
Yeah.
The European canon is here. That's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, I could listen to that nonstop.
It's such a good one.
But yeah, it took me years to actually become a Bowie fan out of that, as opposed to just Ziggy Stardust and Space Oddity. So, I mean, now one of my favorite songs is Tonight. I can play that in the ukulele.
Oh.
And it's not one of his more well-known albums or well-known songs, but it's with.
That was actually one of his best-selling. Because, technically,
was it really?
Yeah, all of his best-selling albums, his 80s stuff that everybody kind of, hates or only likes a couple songs off of, vastly outsold his 70s stuff. Let's Dance, I think, sold more copies than...
Let's Dance.
Space Oddity, or the Let's Dance album is by far the most common Bowie record. And then Tonight it's pretty common. He sold a ton of those,
but nobody seems to know it. It was common at the time.
Machine. That sold a lot of copies. And that's garbage. That's unlistenable garbage.
But that was
Black Tie White Noise. Or no, that's a Tin Machine album. Yeah, that's.
Everybody was excited when Tin Machine came out. Oh, David Bowie, new band. Oh, that's so great. He's doing this. Oh wow, what the hell? I remember when he was on Arsenio Hall, and it was just David Bowie and Tin Machine, Arsenio Hall. I think it was the entire episode, and he performed a few songs on there, and. But so Tonight may have been that popular and all that, but who knows it now? I don't know how many times I mention it to people and they don't know it. They might recognize.
I feel like I wouldn't know about it unless, if I wasn't dating Dan.
Everything will be alright tonight. Everything will be alright tonight.
Yeah.
No one moves, no one talks, no one thinks, no one walks tonight. And so on. So that's with Tina Turner. In fact, when I look it up, and the version I find, Alexa, play Tonight by David Bowie. Playing Tonight with David Bowie, and it's Tina Turner introducing David Bowie. As opposed to David Bowie with Tina Turner. So
that's funny.
I just got Alexa, by the way. So
Alexa?
Yeah.
So you're just just new friend, right?
My new friend, who's I don't know how many times I've tried that. Alexa, Tonight by David Bowie. Playing Tonight with Tina Turner and David Bowie. This is Tina... that was my Tina Turner impression. Hi, this is Tina Turner coming to you live. But it's Tina Turner introducing David Bowie as a guest. So, Anyway, maybe that's the way it originally was, and it made it onto the album. I don't know. Do either of you know?
Which album are we talking about?
Tonight. Well, no, just the song Tonight, because he sings it with Tina Turner.
Oh,
which, by the way, was not on this video that we watched.
Wait, what? Oh, crap.
I don't know.
Well, I have a video of him on tour with, I think, Let's Dance, but he mostly plays older stuff.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I don't know if there might have been a video of the Tonight tour, but I'm trying to think. That came out because that single of him and Mick Jagger doing Dancing in the Streets, it's not very good, but it sold a lot of records, at least if, like, my picking experience.
See, I remember when that came out.
Yeah, and that was huge.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they probably would have Tina Turner introduce it at the beginning of the record, just so that, like, people listening, radio DJs, they know, like, oh, this is David Bowie and Tina Turner. It's like you're getting 2 records for the price of 1 record, but it's still 1 record.
We get a 3-fer because you also get Mick Jagger.
Yeah, and it's like not that hard to do the live in the studio sound and still get decent sound with overdubs. Like,
bonus.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what they did. And like, yeah, David Bowie was all about the crowd, like him and Queen, him and like, he was stretching that star power.
Under pressure.
Like,
I had that stuck in my head earlier.
Oh, we're gonna get so much of this in an hour.
I'm so excited. I'm getting pumped.
All the young dudes carry the news. Boogaloo-doo, carry the news.
This just turned into like
it's kind of funny how
weird acapella.
Because like it's so obvious that Bowie wrote that, but like the studio version, it's always Mott the Hoople. He's not.
That's
he's
true.
Not even singing on it. I don't think.
Really?
He might be doing
That's
some
the version
background
that
vocals.
Okay.
It's funny too because it wasn't the only song he wrote for. It's kind of weird that that's the one that like specifically took off because there's a solo Mick Ronson record from the 70s. Like, Mick Ronson's the lead guitarist on Ziggy Stardust record.
The one that David Bowie gives a guitar blowjob to.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he's like the guy who's playing. Like Bowie could play a lot of instruments, but Ronson I think is the one who kind of defines the like Bowie rock sound versus the Bowie gets a bunch of synthesizers and we all just kind of like shrug for 20 years. Bowie, there's a great song that Bowie wrote for him for that solo record called "Growing Up and I'm Fine," which I think I might have put on a mixtape for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, yeah, that was him?
Well, that's Mick Ronson singing and playing, pretending to be
Yeah.
David Bowie, singing a song that David Bowie wrote.
But he didn't sound anything like David Bowie. It just sounded like his own thing.
Which song?
You sure about that? Growing Up and I'm Fine.
Oh, okay.
It didn't.
It's a good song.
Okay.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
All right. When I re-listen to this and editing and all that, I'll go and I'll ask Alexa to play it for me.
There we go.
Because I won't remember
Alexa,
it.
play. Yeah.
So let's see what else was on this in this Bowie compendium. Well, let's talk about the most important one. What?
No background. That was
Bowie compendium.
Yeah, well, there's just no like the whole video. There's no background.
Oh, right.
Fucking anything.
Several of the videos, all white background, all white floor. One video was all black.
Yeah.
And then there was the one in the end which had the how did you refer to it? It did have outdoor scenes with the trees and him
Oh,
and
it was
the woman.
so like
and-
hokey.
Yeah. But let's talk about the best one, the most important one.
Space Oddity.
Space Oddity was down there.
Space Oddity.
And
it just seemed like a college project. It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, and he does, like, the costume changing thing, but it's more, like, on a TV sketch show versus, like, later on when it's, like, a fashion show.
Yeah.
Right, because he's in, like, the weird, like, fan with the baseball cap outfit, like, the...
Well, yeah, this seems like something that somebody would put in public access, but...
Yeah.
But really,
I mean,
public access with high
feels
production.
weird, yeah.
High production public access. Yeah.
Yeah, like he could afford a floodlight.
Yeah. But yeah, that Space Oddity was fun. Now, but I'm wondering, would we have been as excited about it if we didn't already know and love Space Oddity to begin with? So this was sort of retroactively saying this is great, as opposed to if we had not known Space Oddity, not been as familiar and loving of Space Oddity as or as little as with the other songs. I mean, like, what the hell is going on here? What's this? He's floating in my tin can? I don't, what?
Yeah,
what? He's going around and
it's like actually
these women floating around.
Yeah, it's got like hooks though, which almost everything else on the tape
did not have.
Like
true.
The one song where he's doing the Mick Jagger thing was hooky. The other stuff, it was just kind of like.
What do you mean it had hooks? What
like
was
there's
different?
a catchy part of it, right? Like the song about him being 5.
Well,
could you hum that right now?
No, but I also don't know it. But I also don't know it. I know Space Oddity.
Well, but I think that the melodies and the overall structure of Space Oddity is much more like memorable. It stands out a lot more than like the other songs. The other songs, like, there wasn't, like, he was just kind of singing the whole time and there wasn't even enough space between the lines to even kind of let it sink in. It just, the songwriting was not as strong. Whereas like Space Oddity, it was just like very clear. It's like, this is a standout song.
Space Oddity has a bridge, Dinah.
It has a bridge.
Right. And it like rocks out a little bit.
Yeah.
He does stuff with the guitar. Like, I feel like Bowie, if he doesn't have like a decent amount of like drama or some kind of rock and roll beat behind him, can get like way too. He can get like Bright Eyes, wimpy. Like,
speaking of Planet of the Apes,
hey, well, I like some Bright Eyes stuff back in the day.
So did Zira.
Wait, who's Zira?
Taylor, the Charlton Heston character in Planet of the Apes, she called him Bright Eyes.
Oh.
Is that what the artist named himself after?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
You know, the singer.
Bright Eyes.
No.
Oh.
This is the first day of my Starbucks partnership.
Well, no, that one is at the bottom of everything is the good one.
Oh, I don't think I ever heard that one.
You never heard that one?
No, I mean, by the time I got to him, it was kind of like culturally, he was basically like Dead Eyes, you know.
Jeez Louise. I used to play, my friend and I used to perform that song. We would just wander around and like play that song. Just like he would have his guitar, I would sing. We just, it's a good song. It's a good song.
I used to sing and play a song like that.
I can sing it for you later.
You know what it's called?
What?
I can sing this one for you right now. Called Hey Good Looking.
No, okay, we're not going to do that right now. I've heard that one before.
Is this like when you sang Someone Left the Cake Out in the Rain, but you didn't actually know the lyrics?
I know.
But you sang the 7-minute version?
Have you heard him do this?
Yeah.
Hey,
you did this here. Oh, no, I haven't heard Hey Good Looking. Do I want to?
Hey Good Looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? It sounds better without the guitar now, actually. I usually do it.
Well, it's because,
hey, sweet baby, how's about maybe you can keep me company? I got a pickup Ford right over the hill. Something and a $2 bill. There's fun galore and the dancing spree. So if you want to have fun, come along with me.
Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How about cooking something up with me?
This is like the weirdest episode. We're all just like singing random shit.
Hey, it's a preparation. We're getting in the mood for this.
This is our Friday night episode.
Yeah.
Folks. Woo!
Yeah, that's true. We haven't done a Friday night episode before.
And we've never done like an
Tuesdays.
after party with an episode.
Yeah.
Because usually it takes so long that we just want to sleep.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Last time I was like, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock and I've got to drive home. It's like, yeah, this time it's like, oh, we've got a show at 10:30 and it's going on until 2 o'clock in the morning. Yes!
Yeah.
Oh man!
Oh, I'm excited.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I have to get changed like shortly, so we
Okay.
should probably should we
Change
quickly
is
talk about
dead.
Super Friends?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
Friends.
How do you feel about them since you've never seen a full episode before?
Is that true?
Yeah, that was my first time.
Wow.
I just lost my Super Friends virginity.
Wow, you popped your
With two
Superman,
guys.
Super Friends cherry.
Yes.
The Super Friends pop your cherry.
They popped my cherry.
Wow.
How
was
So many friends at once.
it was like so so I felt like most of what was being said in the episode was like word salad. Like I didn't understand. Like they would just put random words together like nuclear and space time and like geometric and like radar, you know, and they just like that was the whole episode. It was just
Universe. Different universe.
Multiverse, like, and I mean, I think one of my favorite parts is, like, the narrator, and how, you know, he's always
Meanwhile,
like,
in the Hall of Justice.
right, meanwhile, back in our universe, it's just, it was great, it was great.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, the narration.
But, I mean, it's totally two-dimensional. It's, like, it's very flat.
Well, I mean, it is a cartoon.
Well, there is that.
Although, I wonder if this was not the best
Wait,
episode
no,
for you.
it's three-dimensional because they go through that area with all the geometric shapes
Oh,
and they're
that's
clearly
right,
drawn
that's
as
right.
having volume.
So there's one three-dimensional universe. Right. But I wonder if this was the best, maybe not the best episode for you to start with, because
I mean, I think like your impression's basically what my
does it
impression
get
of
better?
most episodes is.
well, you didn't get a sense of like who they were and their backstories, not their backstories, but who they were as individuals. You just got them. Okay,
never
let's take everyone, put
no,
them.
I mean, like the most sense we've gotten of Apache Chief at this point is that he has to say, "I'm getting big" before he can get big. Do you think that's enough to
Wait,
end a marriage, right?
is
Like if
that
I had to
real?
say,
Well, but he
like
says it.
if you have
me?
two married people and every time they want to like do it, the guy's got to say, "I am going to become big." Like that would, right? Like you get divorced quickly.
Talk about buzzkill.
Oh, I got something that does that, but you don't actually say it.
Alexa says it for you. Ron's getting big.
It takes about a half hour. So I say I'm gonna get big, and then I pop something, and then I wait a half hour.
Oh man.
Was that too much information?
He's talking about those wackadoodles that the kids are all
I think
doing.
this episode just got more wild.
No, it's those really good M&Ms. You know, the ones with the hazelnut M&Ms. Oh yeah. They totally they do it like that, man.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go through like a short period of cultural appropriation with like headdress and everything. Then I have to say I am getting big and it's becoming a problem. It's escalating.
Right. It was very 70s. It was very 70s.
The cartoon.
Yes.
Okay. That's a fair description, I think. Although. So no, I'm wondering what was sort of I want to say good, sort of the high quality.
Well, I gotta say with this Super Friend episode, of the 70s,
yeah. I mean,
there's like nothing.
Really?
Like it's a barren desert. There's like Georgia the Jungle. That's pretty good.
Oh, and Bullwinkle.
Yeah,
That's
well,
in the
that's
70s,
60s.
Oh, that's
though.
only 60s.
Yeah,
okay.
no,
That
the
was
Georgia the
60s?
Jungle was the follow-up to Rocky and Bullwinkle by the J Ward Company.
Oh, and Tom Slick.
Oh yeah, Tom Slick's him.
Georgia
like-
the Jungle. Strong
Watch
as
it.
strong as he can be, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Georgia the Jungle. Watch out for that tree.
But like 70s cartoons aren't really known. I can't think of any of them as being known for like being actually good and rewatchable. They're known for being aggressively weird because they're made with no money.
Uh-huh.
So like Star Trek the animated series, right? Classic 70s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
All the rewatch value though is like I'm super high and I need something that doesn't make makes sense and involves William Shatner right now, right? Like, or like Gary Coleman is an angel who comes back from the dead to help other children, right? That's 70s animation.
No, that's 80s.
Oh, that's early 80s?
That's early 80s. But yeah, I don't think there's... Well, early 80s, I think we start getting those really high production Saturday morning cartoons, and there might
some
be...
of them, yeah. Well, they start getting a little higher.
The content...
I think like 90s is... until the 90s, they didn't start putting like a lot of money into... Because there's like the Batman cartoon in the 90s. Everything before that kind of looks very low budget.
But I'd say, even Smurfs may not have the greatest budget, but there's something, maybe it's the concept, there's a coherent concept to it.
It's like written coherently.
Yeah, that makes it feel like, okay, they're putting more money into this. It's not just assembly line.
To like Scooby-Doo or, what's the Scooby-Doo knockoff with the shark? And they're like in a band, but they solve mysteries.
What's the shark called?
I have no idea.
Mr. Sharky. No. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then like there's so many bad shark cartoons. There's Street Sharks. That was 90s. That was like
Street Sharks.
Yeah, they're like sharks that can like they have powers involving manipulating pavement. So they're called Street Sharks. It is like so after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got huge, there was kind of run to create the next weird thing because like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like went from 200 copies printed on somebody's photocopier to like multi-billion-dollar franchise. Well, not multi-billion. Yeah, at least a couple $100 million in Ninja Turtle stuff at this point. So after that, everybody was trying to get on this bandwagon. And so I'm going to list like 4 or 5 things. None of these are made up. Adolescent black belt radioactive hamsters. That's a real comic book. I have issues of that. Street Sharks is another one. Biker mice from Mars.
That's amazing.
Radioactive hamsters.
Road Rovers, which was kind of like Street Sharks, but they're dogs that time.
I want to watch the Biker Mice, or I want to read the Biker Mice. That sounds great.
Yeah, there's a video game.
That's hilarious. Little biker mice.
Yeah, they're like Harley Davidson mice with giant muscles. It's
oh my god.
Disturbing.
So they're not cute? Because I feel like it would work so much better if they were cute.
Oh. Yeah, we need cute.
Cerebus, you're talking about the Dave Sim comics.
Does that fall into the same... I mean, it was the same time.
Well, he never got an animated series.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah. And then Dave Sim kind of like went off the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
He's like doing...
whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to Cerebus?
So Cerebus issue, I think 184, Dave Sim had just gotten divorced, taken way too much LSD 10 years prior, and decides to write, like, I think it's issue 184, just like one issue. There's no comics in it. It's a 24-page, completely text essay on like how women steal the light from existence.
Wow!
And he got a lot of hate mail, and he was like a rock star in the 80s. He was selling a ton of comics, and he was the publisher, and he was making most of the money off it. And yeah, overnight his sales figures dropped in half. And now he's just been doing a lot of weird... He did like a history of women's fashion called Glamour Puss. That's like a weird... I read a little bit of it. And he keeps a blog, and he has like weird... Well, I don't want to say like weird, but he believes in the Quran, the Bible, and the Torah at the same time.
It's syncretism.
I guess so, yeah, but he also believes that like women steal the light of the universe and all this.
That's her job.
Is that the thing that all three have in common?
He kind of went off the deep end, and I think over time everybody's gotten less and less patient with him, because like the early commentary is like, oh, early Cerebus is still good, except the first 25 issues, which always sucked. But then Dave had a lot of mental illness issues, and we're just not going to talk about that right now. This guy just keeps fucking shooting himself in the foot. Like we can't. Although he has all this money left over from the 80s. 80s, and he's kind of using it to build this museum around his house for when he's dead. There's going to be like a Cerebus museum in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Which, I mean, could be kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like putting all of his work in the public domain after he dies, which is kind of...
Otherwise, it would take 90 years, I think. It's death plus 90 years.
Yeah, it's like death plus a while now, because otherwise Disney would lose the Mickey Mouse copyright.
Yeah, our copyright laws are Disney Mickey laws.
It's like all around losing the copyright to Mickey Mouse, because Mickey Mouse should be in the public domain by now.
I just found out the Internationale, not the lyrics, but the music is actually under copyright.
Happy Birthday's technically under copyright.
Yeah, but
people have been sued over
not
that.
Anymore.
Oh, yeah,
anymore.
okay.
No, yeah. That just there was the legal battle over it, and it's no longer right. It's in the public domain now.
So,
That's
man,
hilarious.
we should have sung that instead of all those other songs that we sung under copyright on this episode.
I'm wrong. It's not the... Wait, no, is it in the public domain or the copyright transferred? No, it's in the public domain. It's in the public domain. Because with the transfers of copyright, there was something along the way that it didn't apply to it. I forget. It was... There's actually a movie about it.
The Happy Birthday.
Yeah. So
how many movies do you watch a week? Because you seem to catch like all these like one... Or like gimmick premise movies that I've never even heard of these, because like the Duff, I never heard of the Duff.
Really? No, that's
heard
right. Yeah.
I mean, I've watched 2 movies about how there's the ET cartridge buried in the desert. So.
Yeah, I don't know. This one might have been like reading about it on an airplane in-flight magazine. That's probably not quite right. I was probably reading a magazine on a plane, which is unusual that I'd be reading something made of paper, which is unusual that I'm reading. But all that said, I haven't actually seen the movie. I read about it, and I read the whole the story of what was going on. And it was the woman who was making the movie ended up getting involved in the court battle over it. She might have been the one to actually sue, and somebody that took it on and was pro bono, lasted for years. Anyways, yeah, I'm really curious to see that movie. I haven't looked at it for in a while because it wasn't on Netflix. So there was a while in which I'm paying for Netflix and I'm paying for Amazon Prime. Why should I ever pay ever again for a streaming movie? And it's like, well, if it's not on Netflix and it's not free on Amazon Prime, it's only $3.99. I try to avoid watching the crap, paying for the crap.
Right.
But to answer your question, I watch at least one movie a night.
Oh, wow.
And not very good movies.
That's impressive.
And I can't remember most of them. So the best part is occasionally when I'll watch the same movie a second time, and I'll be like, I'll watch a movie, I'm like, wait, and I predict what happens next. Think, wait, I think I know what happens next. Wait, this is really familiar. Oh my god, I've seen this. Did I like it last time? I don't know. Let's watch it. So, I can't tell you how many times that's happened.
The ultimate, like, the darkest timeline would be if you're just watching the same movie over and over again.
It's like a Groundhog's Day or
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Mystery Science Theater, but they wipe the tape every time and then wipe your brain. Every single episode, it's Manos Hands of Fate.
But it's actually...
Have you ever seen Manos Hands of...
No.
Okay. That might be the next time we have a 3-person episode.
I'm going to start...
She can't repress the change inside of her.
Right.
Yeah, maybe should we wrap this up? I mean, we never actually said what the Super Friends episode was about. But...
That's true. Well, you guys can say, I have to start getting ready.
You've seen a Super Friends episode.
So...
You know what it's like.
Right. Well, everybody say goodbye to Elizabeth, the podcast.
Okay.
We hope to have you on.
Goodbye, everyone. I'll be back. And next time won't be such a dramatic build-up.
Just promise me something.
What?
Don't ever change.
Well, too late. I'm changing as we speak.
Embrace the strange changes.
So I guess that was.
Wait, so just briefly, let's tell the plot. So there's almost no plot. No,
because there's an old guy with red eyes and a beard. He takes the Super Friends of the Legion of Doom out into space and then makes them do challenges against each other.
Right.
The guys who did Secret Wars for Marvel Comics totally fucking watched this episode of Super Friends. Were like, "There's our idea, but let's put him in a jumpsuit this time."
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And like the proto Secret Wars Marvel comic, the Contest of Champions miniseries. Pretty much identical to that.
Okay.
Super Friends episode. Yeah, like all the superheroes get put somewhere they get kind of put through the superhero equivalent of like the sack race at the company picnic,
Okay.
and then they get sent home.
Okay.
Which,
Well, the sack race is a little bit different kind of challenge.
well, you know, like the
yeah.
Riddler and Batman, they're both in the big labyrinth.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, besides a hole, it feels more like kind of an amusement park function than a.
But Wonder Woman and Cheetah, or I don't know what her name is, but she looked like a cheetah or a leopard.
Yeah, I think
or,
Cheetah's her name.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
I mean, they both had to climb up an active volcano.
Yeah, do you know she's actually married to Chester Cheetah?
Really?
It's
really?
one of those rare cases where the man takes a last name.
Okay. When was this? When did they get married?
It was the late 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were invited. Sorry.
No? Was this like an open invitation to lots of folks? Or
I was invited.
Oh, did you go?
Yeah.
How was it?
Cheesy.
Ah! Ba-dum-bum.
Good night, folks.
Good night, folks. Say good night, Dan.
Good night. All right, we're gonna go see some David Bowie,
All right. Take care, everyone.
or not David Bowie. David.
Whoa. We're going to see
Weekend
David.
at Bowie's.
Week 2. No, just Weekend at Bowie's.
That was his
Right,
Weekend
at
at Bowie's 1, but if they play midway again, it'll be Weekend at Bowie's 2 for all of us.
Ah, now I get it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Later.
Love you till Tuesday.